So, Westside Gunn, a rapper that you probably don't know much about because he is a niche person. He's a person that is in the collective Griselda, which features 3 OG rappers or just older acts. Westside Gunn, Conway the Machine, and Benny the Butcher. All 3 of these individuals are very respected inside the rap game because they make very traditional unk rap, and it is perfect. But you might be asking yourself, first off, Captain, why do you don't have a shirt on? Well, it's because I'm talking about the WWE. Westside Gunn has been officially barred from using a lot of WWE imagery inside his music because, you know, WWE kind of just felt like banning him. They don't necessarily like having their properties being used for things that are not associated with WWE. They have given him multiple chances to put down a lot of the pictures that he uses for his albums and his rollouts, and his love for, you know, WWE spans from a really long time ago. He also attends a lot of, you know, shows and, you know, WWE events, but they don't necessarily want him to use pictures from, you know, their works for albums. And again, Westside Gunn is a person who takes a lot of, you know, screenshots or pictures from the WWE and have them as pretty much like album covers and stuff like that. He uses a lot of the imagery from a lot of shows and, you know, things of that nature. Again, forgive me, I am not necessarily well versed inside the world of WWE, but I am well versed in the, you know, drama. Again, everybody is kind of asking, hey, why did this happen? And essentially, it's literally just that WWE wants to distance themselves with Westside Gunn because they feel like he is using their intellectual properties without permission from the WWE. WWE has a pretty tight ship when it comes to, like, you know, their properties, what they allow, you know, people to post and show and profit out of. And they feel like, you know, Westside Gunn, hey, your whole identity or like a big chunk of your discog has pictures of, you know, various WWE stars, and you don't have the permission to use them, which again, they are very fair in their assumption. They have the right to say, no, you can't use pictures for albums or whatever it is. But this is where it goes a little bit too far, in my opinion. Westside Gunn bought about 5 tickets, front row or front trap or whatever you want to call it, to a event. And because the people that went with him, again, not himself, but his entourage, said that one of the, you know, forgive me when I say this because I don't necessarily know all the different tournaments and all that, but another event in the WWE was a little bit boring. That's what they said. That's how they felt about it, and they took to Instagram or Twitter to voice their opinion about the whole event as a whole. And WWE seen that, they already had cease and desist letters for a lot of the imagery and the stuff that, you know, Westside Gunn was doing, and they decided, hey, enough is enough. They kicked him and his entourage out the fucking building. And that's where we're at right now. He has been officially, you know, I don't know if the right word is banned, but he's just not allowed to be around no more. He's not allowed to show the pictures. He's not allowed to, you know, voice his love for WWE. So now it's just beef between Westside Gunn and the WWE, which is a fucking wild situation to even be in, if I'm being honest. But WWE thing, understandable. I would probably do the same thing if I was the org. I don't necessarily know if you like listen to Westside Gunn, but he does make a lot of, you know, references to a lot of WWE situations and memorabilia, which are cool, but the content of his rapping is more so about drugs, streets, and everything else under the book. So of course WWE probably wouldn't want to be a part of all of that, you know what I mean? And it's fair. But I do think that they should have went about this whole situation a little bit differently. Maybe gave the man his money back at least, and not just kicked him out of the whole venue, or acknowledge that he is a huge fan and has been kind of repping WWE and trying to make WWE cool inside the rap sphere for a very long time. But again, if they were constantly telling him, hey, you can't use the imagery, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that, and he kept doing it, then that is, of course, reasons to put things down. Now, do I believe that WWE should try to take down all the music that references his infatuation with the org? No, because that would be messing up the music. He makes really solid music. But if they want to, you know, sue him or tell him to switch the pictures on his albums, they have all the right to do it. But hey, that's just my thoughts on this. Again, this is from me reading about this, you know, over the course of a few days. So I just kind of wanted to give my spill or take on this situation. But yeah, you think they justify? You think not? Let me know. Peace.